I've been kind of going through a box of stuff that I've collected from when I was a kid, or my mom's collected for me. Because probably most of the stuff would end up in the trash or something, but I found something that I made, and I remember the exact day. Well, obviously, it's a Mother's Day card that I had made for my mom. As you can see here, it's just basically it's just some that cheap paper wrap or whatever glued to a piece of paper, mushed together. It says, "For a great mom on Mother's Day." And this, I actually remember making this. It was in 3rd grade, and I remember the day like it was yesterday. I don't know if you're able to read that or anything, but this thing here, the red paper that you see here, all this red paper, there was one kid in the entire class that had this red paper. For some reason or another, all we had in the classroom was green, blue, and some other color, and then there was a little bit of this red paper left. And we actually started to make these right before our lunchtime or recess. It was one of the two. Now that I don't remember exactly, but I remember I got into a lot of trouble for what I did. This kid had the last little bit of red, and for some reason I wanted red so bad. I don't know why. I think it was because my mom liked red or something. I remember I went up to this kid, and I don't remember his name. I think it was Elliot, maybe. I can't remember exactly. But I went up to him, and I asked him if I could have the red. Of course, he said no. And, I got kind of mad, and I said, well, I'll trade you some of my green. He said, I've already got plenty of green. Whatever. So I was kind of mad, and I started scheming ways that I could get a hold of this red paper. And at the time, when you're that young, you don't realize what consequences there is for your actions. The right and wrong is still developing in your mind and things like that. And I can remember that we all went to recess or lunch. That I don't remember which one it was, but most of the kids would, as soon as the bell rang for lunch, recess, everybody would just fly out the door, because that's where we wanted to go. Wanted to go outside, wanted to go eat, whatever. And the teacher always left too. The teacher would then turn off the light, wouldn't lock the door, but would close the door, and go to their recess break or whatever. And I'm thinking now that it must have been lunch, because recess they typically didn't leave the classroom. So it must have been lunch, now that I think about it. And I just kind of stood down the hallway a little bit like I was getting a drink from the drinking fountain, and I saw the teacher leave. And as soon as the teacher was out of sight, I went back into the classroom. And I took his red paper, and on my lunch hour, instead of going down to the lunchroom and getting food, I started making this card. I actually made all of this while I was on lunch. Everybody was on lunch, gone or whatever, and I was in the classroom, the lights were off, and I was ripping up the paper, crunching it up, and putting it all in here. And what my idea at the time is that I would get it all finished, I would fold it up, and all they would see was green, and I would have it sitting on my desk as just green. Nobody would ever know. Well, it was a great idea, I guess, in my mind. Well, I ended up doing that. I ended up gluing it. I remember I just barely got out the door before the teacher actually started to come back. And my teacher actually asked me, have you been in the hallway this whole time? I said, no, I just came back early a little bit. I made up some stupid excuse about getting kicked off the swing or something. I don't remember what it was. But anyway, so, of course, everybody came back to class, and Elliot, he noticed that all of his red paper was gone. And he started asking, where's my red paper? Who's got my red paper? where's my red paper? You know, it started bugging the teacher. Somebody stole my red paper. I don't know where it's at. So we started searching the room. And of course, I was part of the group, so I was searching the room too, looking around. Where's this red paper at? Don't know where it's at. Don't know where it's at. Don't know where it's at. Well, you know, I have to give my teacher credit because she saved me from the embarrassment and the humiliation in front of my class, because she actually saw that I ended up leaving it. It wasn't completely folded, and she did notice a little bit of red paper sticking out somehow, and she ended up saying, "Okay, classroom, you know, let's just sit back down. Sorry, Elliot, you're gonna have to use the other colors. Don't know where it went. Don't know what's going on." And she ended up asking me, you know, if I was done with mine. I said, "Yes, I'm done with it." And I kept it really close to me. I didn't want anybody to have it. Didn't want anybody to touch it. I kept it really close. And she said, "Okay, well, go ahead and put it on my desk." And of course, I got all nervous and, oh crap, she's gonna find out. Well, she knew the whole time anyway, but I didn't know that. And I set it on the desk, and then she said, "Anybody else who has theirs done, go ahead and bring those over here and set it on Sean's. And then we'll go ahead and we'll put these in envelopes, and then we'll send them out in your backpacks for your moms." And when class was over that day, she asked me to stay over, and of course my parents were waiting in the car, and she ended up saying, you know, "I want you to be truthful. Did you take Elliot's red paper?" And at first I'm like, no, I don't know what you... She said it, you know, she gave me plenty of chances to fess up to it. So, "Did you take Elliot's paper? Did you take Elliot's paper?" And I kept saying no, because I was afraid of getting in trouble. I didn't want to get in trouble. And I didn't know that she knew, so I figured that I'd be able to get away with it. Bad idea. The report card that was sent out that Friday had negative marks all over the place. And at the very bottom, she wrote, "Sean lied about taking somebody's paper." And of course my parents flipped out, because I always got, you know, satisfactory or better on everything that I ever did back then. And "What'd you take? You know, you're grounded," and all this other stuff, and whatever. And I ended up suavely, I ended up pulling out this card from my mom. We weren't supposed to give them to our moms until Mother's Day, but I pulled out this card and I gave it to her, and I said, "Open it up," and that's the red paper that I took from him. Of course, she got tears, and you know, my dad's like, "Still, that's no reason to, you know, whatever." So I ended up getting grounded for a couple of days. It wasn't that bad, but Elliot never found out. Maybe if he ever sees this this video, he'll come after me. But it's just kind of funny, you know. It's you know, just seeing this brought back that whole day, that whole day of memories. And it's just amazing. You know, I was never a thief or anything like that in school, but you know, I thought I could get away with something, and I just failed miserably. At least the classroom never found out. And that's where I give my teacher credit, because she didn't want anything to happen to me. Not that I would get beat up or anything else, but it would be humiliating. And she knew that, so she gave me a chance to fess up to it just to her. It would be between her and I, and then everything would be great. But no, I had to lie about it. Well, anyway, kind of a memory.